The showdown between Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam is essentially the Wizard of Oz. And Cody Rhodes, you're Dorothy. And that dog of yours is Toto. See, your daddy, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, used to love to exclaim, "Living on the edge of a lightning bolt. Jump on it!" And certainly, Cody Rhodes, the biggest mistake you ever made in your life is jumping on Brock Lesnar. Because see, Brock Lesnar is not just a lightning bolt. No, sir. Brock Lesnar is a tornado. And you can bet the WWE Universe is going to spend plenty of dimes to watch Brock Lesnar make Cody Rhodes bleed, sweat, and pay the price of a wrestling lifetime. So Cody Rhodes, when you're laying in the middle of that ring come SummerSlam, all alone, click your heels 3 times and exclaim, "There's no place like home."
You're locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke loves wrestling.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey guys, so my name is David Figueroa, and my show is the Cerebral Palsy and Fitness Podcast, and you're listening to Duke Loves Wrestling.
Brothers and sisters, you know I love talking to wrestling fans from around the world, from all different walks of life and what have you here, because it's interesting to get perspective from a wide range of people. We are truly a diverse wrestling community, not just the wrestlers themselves, but we as fans. And certainly when I get a chance to talk to other content creators, it's really cool. So definitely my brother David, welcome officially to the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, brother. I'm actually excited to be on here today and be able to share a little bit about myself, I guess wrestling knowledge, which is something that we both have, and to just have a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
Tell me a little bit about your show. Tell me a little bit about your show, because it's a very interesting concept. Most people out there, when they think of wrestling fans, sometimes they don't realize how diverse we are. So let's start with your show. What is it about?
Okay, so my show kind of started off with just talking about a little bit about my life story. So it's talking about my journey living with cerebral palsy, challenges that I dealt with in the education system, and the things that kind of helped me overcome those obstacles in life. And then one day I decided to just incorporate other guests on the show. And I'm like, why not give a platform where people are not judged, but they can talk about what they're dealing with, how they've dealt with it, how they become successful, and just be themselves.
Fitness is definitely something that you take very seriously, and I know that is a constant theme throughout what you're talking about there. And it's interesting because another great guest and friend of the show, Ken Sticks Ray, he also has cerebral palsy, and he's someone that is constantly in the gym, constantly finding ways to work out and just kind of keep his body moving. Why is that so important for you guys who are dealing with something so serious there?
It is real important to us because as our bodies age, it tends to break down. So if you're not a person that's active, your body's going to rapidly deteriorate. So more than likely, if you're somebody that walks now like I do, if I were to stop working out, I could end up back in the wheelchair or possibly, in a lot worse shape. So I made that decision to start working out myself and told myself that if I don't decide to change, then no one else will do it for you. It's up to you.
For any listeners out there who are not clear or need a refresher, what is cerebral palsy?
So cerebral palsy is actually a neurological condition. Mine was caused due to lack of oxygen to the brain. So when I was born 4 months early, and I couldn't really, walk until I was about 8 years old. And it entails a lot of therapy, you're learning how to walk and do basic things that a normal child could do. So it pretty much affects the brain. So it affects my right side of my body for the most part.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, do you drive? I know that's something that Styx does there, where he has the setup that allows him to do that. Are you able to drive?
Oh man, as much as I would love to, I don't, because I have spastic cerebral palsy, which means that any kind of loud noise or anything that I don't see that's loud, I jump easily. So I got up to my permit at one point, but then I decided to myself, you know what? I'd be too much of a risk being out on the road. And if I were to get into an accident and injure somebody, or, somebody passes away, I don't want to live with that, So I chose not to drive.
That's serious, man. And kudos to you for being honest with yourself and what, what the limits are, and kind of adhering to that. Most of us, and it's a normal human nature to want to push it beyond the limits. And sometimes that can be extremely dangerous, not just for ourselves, but for others. But kudos to you for being responsible.
Thank you, man. I mean, the closest thing that I can drive is pretty much a scooter, which is I can drive on the sidewalk, and it's a lot safer, and I don't have to worry about, anybody getting hurt. So
yeah, that makes sense. So I wonder about this, though, David, because like you said, loud noises can, unfortunately, sometimes can make you jump and what have you if you don't see it coming. How does that affect your ability to partake in live pro wrestling events? Because, with the pyro, especially, let's say, a WWE, even AEW, how does that affect you, man?
Great question. So how that works is typically during the events, once the pyro starts and I have that first initial jump or a few jumps, I kind of get used to it. So it takes a while for my body to kind of accustom to the environment. So once I'm kind of used to seeing all the pyro and hearing the noises, I stop jumping gradually. So it kind of calms down because I've already seen what's going to happen.
Do you find it therapeutic to continue to go and experience that, just so, like you said, you can continue to be used to it?
Oh, yeah. I've been to WrestleCon. I've been to AEW Dynamite. I've been to all kinds of events, and it's awesome. I love it with my best friends.
That's pretty cool. So who are your favorites today? I mean, if you were to rank your top 5 wrestlers that are active right now, so I'm not saying of all time, but right now, who are the folks that when they're on TV, when they're on pay-per-view, what have you, you stop what you're doing and you make sure you're paying attention?
I'd definitely say my first one is Gregory Iron, who I want to talk to you about. He has cerebral palsy. He's a wrestler. Also, I would say Rey Mysterio, because I've always been a big fan of his. AJ Styles. CM Punk, which everybody still is like seething to this day about that man and what he's done for the industry. And I would say Penta. Those are my 5. I'll tell you about Gregory Iron. He and I met through... it was my birthday, and one of my buddies had a cameo made from him to me, and I viewed it. And he was talking about, David, this is the handicap hero, professional wrestler Gregory Iron. I was told by your friend, that you're a big wrestling fan, that you're my biggest fan, and that you have a podcast yourself, and I would like to be on your podcast. And next thing you know, on the same day of my birthday, we had an interview, and he's been trained by Johnny Gargano. I don't know if you know about him, about Gregory Iron.
No, this is awesome that you're exposing a wrestler that I haven't even heard of before. So we'll definitely have to reach out to Gregory and have him on the show now that you mentioned him, David. He sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I mean, we've done events together as far as speaking engagements, and he's a pretty good guy. And the fact that he's overcome so many obstacles to make it to where he's at today is awesome.
Well, now what's going on with Gregory? Is he Tony Schiavone's long lost son? You could tell me the truth here, David, since you have the inside scoop, because this guy looks a lot like Schiavone here.
Right? Well, to be honest, I don't think he is, but he kind of dresses like him, right? The mannerisms and things of that nature. But he he's very, very out there with his outfits. But hey, I love his personality. It's out there and outgoing,
That's hilarious. We're going to get to the bottom of this here. And
Yeah,
Shivani,
we do.
Old friend of the show. Shivani's been on Duke Loves Wrestling before. In fact, we close every show with Tony Schiavone's voice saying, we're out of time and you're listening to Duke Loves Wrestling. Tony, I'm going to find out if this Gregory Iron is your long-lost son. And if he is, I'm going to have a talk with Lois about this. Because I have a funny feeling Lois Schiavone, your wife, doesn't know about this Gregory Iron guy. So we're going to get to the bottom of this. I appreciate David putting me on the trail, so to speak.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. Like he's been in the wrestling business for, I think a decade almost, or a little bit more than that. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And he was trained by Gargano. That's even cooler, huh?
By Gargano, he's I think he's friends with Austin and with Punk as well. So, and he's also tag team with Zach Gowen as a handicap hero.
Oh, that's cool.
And the independent scene.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to do my research on that too. So tell me something, David, because you're exposing us to, Gregory Iron and some awesome wrestling content that we can dig into. I'm always looking to expand my horizons, so I appreciate that. For wrestling promoters, because we have a lot of them come on the show, a lot of them are actually based down in your area in Florida.
Oh yeah.
What are a few things that wrestling promoters can do to make their events more welcoming for not only folks who are within the handicap community, but even specifically who have cerebral palsy and things of that nature?
I would say have at least make the area where the fans are sitting a bit more accessible. Because in most shows that I've been to, everything is kind of it's really narrow and it's hard to get into. Like to get to your seats or where you have to sit.
I've heard that before, and I've heard that sometimes the handicap accessible seating can be in the not the best viewing areas there. I know that was one of the issues with Daly's Place for AEW, at least in the beginning. Some of those seating is just tough for folks to see based on where that was located. So that's a good call out there, David. That's good stuff there.
And then also, I would say maybe for those that are sensitive to like noises, provide the headphones that kind of block out the noise, so that those wrestling fans that are sensitive to loud noises. I mean, I don't mind the noise, but those that can't handle it, they can wear them and still enjoy the show.
Another great call out there. Appreciate that. The headphones. We got to do some research. And I don't know if David. We could talk offline about it, but I would love to know about the companies that make the specific headphones. Who are some of the bigger companies? Maybe we can have some of those folks on the show to talk about that. Because that's a great call out. Not only folks with cerebral palsy, but I see, when people bring younger children, like babies and what have you, to the events for that similar reason. They want to reduce the loud noises and things like that. So that's a great concept there. Now, you and I have a mutual friend in Sophia V. And
yes, she's awesome.
Sophia is a firecracker. She's over there in England. I've had her on the show, and she was telling me all about food over there, like Greg's sausage rolls and all kinds of crazy stuff. And she loves her wrestling too. How did you get connected with Sophia?
Well, Sophia and she had followed me, or I'd followed her, and then eventually we kind of started talking about mutual interests. And then eventually, when she mentioned about wrestling and how she does a lot of humanitarian work, that's when I got really connected with her, and we got her on my show, and then we had a great conversation about her being a humanitarian and the things she's done with the communities around the world and the metaverse, and then wrestling. So that was pretty cool.
You hear that, folks? We have humanitarians who are within our pro wrestling community. It just once again shows how diverse the pro wrestling audience is, which is pretty cool. Folks like Sophia V, folks like David, they're just doing some great work around the world in addition to being big wrestling fans. David, why don't you let everybody know what's the best way they can keep up with you and also listen to your show?
Well, you can actually find me on Instagram at David's DAVIDSCP Fitness on Instagram, on Twitter, and on TikTok. And also for my show, the Cerebral Palsy and Fitness Podcast, you can find that on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and any other major podcasting outlet out there that you listen to your favorite podcasts, such as Duke Loves Wrestling.
I love it. I love it. Listen, David, you're a good guy, man. I appreciate you very much for taking the time to be a guest here on Duke Loves Wrestling. Before I let you go, I got to bring something up because pro wrestling legend Low-Key, he was on the show recently and he was talking about this pizza shop, Uncle Mattio's, and how Low-Key, this big hulking guy, so to speak, he was talking about his favorite pizza at this place. And listen to this. He has a pizza that has pineapple, jerk chicken, pesto sauce, garlic, all of that stuff on the pizza. It was just crazy. Sweet, spicy, savory, the whole 9 yards there. So before I let you go, David, what is your favorite pizza combination?
Oh, my favorite pizza combination, I would say buffalo chicken. Put a little bit of mozzarella cheese in there. Pepper, so I would say, make it a little bit of a half and half. So half Philly cheesesteak and half bacon and sausage. So I'm more of a meat eater.
So David wants to put all the meat that's in the house on the pizza there with some mozzarella. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you got buffalo chicken, you got sausage, you got bacon, you got Philly cheesesteak. Jesus, okay. No anchovies though, right, David?
No anchovies.
Thank you once again, David. Fantastic guy, fantastic fan. Just proof, once again, folks, that we have a diverse pro wrestling fan community, for sure. Listen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I am going to reveal something that the gods of the WWE Universe have let me know about Kevin Owens. Let's talk hydration. See, I carry something to drink with me every single place that I go because I am concerned about being dehydrated. It runs in the family. Everything from dry mouth, dizzy spells, fainting. It's pretty serious. And I've tried all the different types of waters and sports drinks. Let me tell you something right now. Liquid IV. That has been the most efficient at keeping me hydrated and doing so pretty quickly. Okay, Liquid IV has 5 essential vitamins and is 2 times faster at keeping you hydrated than water alone. And I'm serious, man. Everything from vitamin C to vitamins B3, B5, B6, B12. Liquid IV also is non-GMO, so it's free from gluten, dairy, soy. So for all you folks out there with food allergies, this may be right up your alley. And I know what you're thinking, but how does it taste, Duke? Well, it tastes pretty good. Okay, we're talking my favorite in pina colada. They also have tropical punch, strawberry, new flavors like sea berry and strawberry lemonade. You can enjoy this stuff, man. But don't take my word for it. I want you to stop what you're doing right now and head over to liquidiv.com. Use the promo code Duke Loves Wrestling so you get 20% off your entire order. I mean, anything that you order on liquidiv.com. So what are you waiting for? It's time for you to shop better hydration today. Use the promo code Duke Loves Wrestling over at liquidiv.com. Save yourself 20%. Stay hydrated. Most importantly, enjoy life. That's right. WWE superstar Kevin Owens is once again injured. This guy is unreliable. I've been telling you for years he's a punk. And he continues to prove it day by day. So now, Kevin Owens, you're going to miss SummerSlam. All 500 pounds of you will be sitting in the crowd with a box of popcorn and a cold beverage like the fan that you are, while real superstars like Roman Reigns and main event Jey Uso will do exactly what they've always done. Something that you could never do, and that's be great. See, the wrestling gods of the WWE Universe, they have let me know that Kevin Owens is cursed. He will never be champion again. He will never main event a major event again. Kevin Owens will forever be sitting in the stands with the fans. That does it for this week, folks. As always, be kind to yourselves and be kind to others. Take it away, Tony Schiavone.
Mr. Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.